Hello booktube, hello book friends, welcome back to my channel and another tag video. It's Tuesday, so it's Tag Tuesday, and I'm going to be doing the booktube behind the scenes tag. This was created by Robert G, reader of books, and I was tagged by John at Must Read More. I'll link to their channels below in the description and their videos. I quite like John's. He was very honest and open and frank in his answers, so I really enjoyed watching his video. There are 11 prompts and the tag other people prompt. So let's get started. The prompts. First prompt: when recording a post, do you read from a prepared script, or do you refer to notes or a broad outline, or do you speak extemporaneously? I think I do a little bit of all of those. So I've got a moleskin notebook that I mostly write kind of my booktube stuff in, and so I'll very often write out the questions, or the prompts rather, and then sort of make some notes around them, particularly when it's, if you've got to pick a particular book or a particular character. This one I'm kind of speaking just a bit more off the top of my head, so I've got my laptop screen with the questions on next to the camera, and so I'm kind of, if I'm looking here, that means I'm pretty much looking at the prompts. I will also kind of make notes, like I do a weekly kind of wrap-up video. I'll make notes through the week as I go, particularly if I finish a book. I think I must write the name of the book down so that just before I come to record, I can go and get the book, or make sure I've got an image of it queued up, or whatever I need for the video. So all of the, I don't generally write long scripts. They're more notes and aid memoirs if I'm doing a particularly detailed video. Otherwise, I am just talking as I go. Prompt number 2: do you edit before you post, deleting hems and haws, misspeaks, mispronunciations, and other common public speaking foibles? Do you remove things you didn't mean to say, or off-topic thoughts or comments you think might be misunderstood? I minimally edit, I think, is probably the best way to describe my approach. I am very much of a shoot and post booktuber, so I don't tend to edit very much. I might sometimes edit to put up like a picture of a book cover if I haven't got a hard cover, a real book. See, this is what you get: shoot and post. So you get all the bloopers in the video. You don't get a separate blooper reel. I do tend to recognize that I will and I'm working on that. I am trying to make sure that I speak in clear sentences and don't and ah too much, but it's a work in progress. 3: have you ever edited a post after posting? Have you ever deleted an entire post? I don't think so as of the time of recording. I've got one video which was my review of, I've forgotten the name of the book. It's Dan Simmons's Holmes pastiche, and I've forgotten the name of it now. But anyway, I recorded a video for that back in February for Holmes is Where the Heart Is, and then didn't post it because I thought it had quite a lot of spoilers in, and people were reading that book as a group read for Holmes is Where the Heart Is, and I didn't post it. And I think because I did talk about it in other videos, I think I put people off reading the book. I'm pretty sure I put Pat from Book Chat with Pat off of reading it, and therefore I I've never posted the video. It's sitting there. It's way down in the my list of videos. I never posted it, and I keep thinking maybe I should. And then actually, I think if I'm going to do that, I probably need to put something at the beginning of it just to kind of explain why it's appearing so late. So I've never done it. So I don't think I've ever deleted anything. I've perhaps not. I don't think I've edited anything. I've perhaps not posted stuff. I guess is what I'm trying to say. So there are things that I've recorded and then not posted, either because I didn't like them, or something's happened, or it wasn't appropriate at the time. And yeah, so no, I don't think I've deleted anything. Don't think so. Are there certain topics you avoid? Things you regard as too personal or too controversial? No is the short answer. I don't think so. I mean, I talk quite a bit because one of my personal projects is conflict journalism, and I think that sometimes it can be quite difficult for me reading the books and so on. And I think for some viewers it can be quite difficult. And I think people have unsubscribed as a result of a couple of videos that I've made. But I think it's important to still talk about them. I tend to be careful about what I say, just because so some of the videos have covered the Holocaust and things like that. So I don't tend to avoid them, but I do tend to try and be as sensitive about the content as I can be. I guess maybe I'm not as successful as I should be, but yeah. So no, I don't think I specifically avoid anything. There are a couple of authors who I don't mention by name because they have had allegations made against them or have had allegations proven against them. So yeah, I don't tend to, and they are or were beloved authors of mine. So it's those sorts of things. I don't tend to mention them anymore, even though a year, 18 months ago, I would have loved to have talked about their books. If I'd been on BookTube then, I probably would have talked about their books. I probably would have been reading their books. I'm not now. 5. Do your posts include graphics, special lighting, music, fast cuts, or other design enhancements? Pretty much no, and no. Lighting is what you get, and occasionally, as I said, I put up a graphic of a book cover because that's relevant. But I don't do that. I think I'm trying to sort of work on the sound a bit. I think that's probably where my videos lack production value, if that's the right term, in the sound quality. So sometimes I will run them through the editing software just to boost the sound. But otherwise, no. It's not that I don't. It's not that I don't want to. It's not that I don't know necessarily how to, although there is an element of technical ignorance. It's often that it's a time thing. So I can record a 20-minute YouTube video or whatever, and post it. If I spend too much time editing it, it takes hours, and then I have a day job and things like that. I just don't have that amount of free time to devote to YouTube and BookTube. I'd rather be reading a book, if that makes sense. So I used to, before I had my own channel, I would watch a lot of BookTube videos. I would read a lot of books. It's that sort of thing. I would spend a certain amount of time, but not an infinite amount of time. So that tends to be it. Number 6, do you have a target number of posts per week, each week? Sorry. Not really. I will always tend to try and post on a Saturday, a weekly reading wrap up, and then one or two other videos maybe. So that I mean, this coming week you will probably see this on Tuesday, and then on Saturday my weekly reading wrap up will come out. I might have something come out in between. It will depend on, again, the day job, what else I'm doing, what I'm reading, what is in my head about, what I'd like to come on and have a conversation about. I'd like my videos to be a conversation rather than, although I am just blurbing to a camera, I would like them to be conversational rather than, I don't know what the alternative is, but yeah, to me, they're a conversation with the however many guys and girls are out there watching it, Are there certain themed posts you contribute to regularly, such as Poetry Thursday or What Are You Reading Wednesday? No, only really Tag Tuesday when I've got tags to do, and as I say, a weekly reading wrap up. I have thought about doing Poetry Thursday, particularly around war poetry, but I've never got there. I don't know why. And no, I mean, What Are You Reading Wednesday is kind of my, is my weekly reading wrap up anyway. So, how important to you is the number of your subscribers? Is there a target number? Is there a target number you're hoping to reach? If you don't hit your target, would you consider dropping out of BookTube? Are your posts designed to attract new subscribers? Are you distressed if you lose subscribers? So there's a few. Let's break this up. How important is your number of subscribers? I wouldn't say it's unimportant, but it's not the most important thing. As I say, I'd like this to be a conversation. If it's a conversation, I don't know where I am at the moment, 200-ish. If it's a conversation with 200 subscribers or 2,000 subscribers, I guess it's the same, from my perspective, the same conversation, but I might get more feedback or I might get more views. I do look at my subscriber count, but I'm not constantly checking it to see if it's gone up or gone down. I do recognise that it goes up and down. Is there a target number you're hoping to reach? No. So if you don't hit your target, would you consider dropping out of BookTube? No, I think if it would be life getting in the way that would, and I would probably take a hiatus rather than drop out. I guess at the moment that's kind of how I'm feeling. I'm enjoying it. I guess if something starts to become a chore and you don't enjoy it, then maybe you should consider doing something else. But for the time being, at least, I mean, I'm enjoying making videos. I'm enjoying reading books. I've always enjoyed reading books. There have been times when I've read less, and so I suspect there will be times when I might record less videos. I don't know. Are your posts designed to attract new subscribers? Are you distressed if you lose subscribers? They're not specifically designed. I get occasionally, because I've got an email address that links to my main account on my homepage, and I occasionally get emails from, your videos aren't doing very well. You're not doing enough. SEO isn't right, and I think I don't know about that stuff. I probably should do. It probably means if I did more, I would get more. I don't, if I'm going to get into the technical side of it, I'm going to make less videos, and I'm probably not going to enjoy it. I'm sure there are things that I should be doing, could be doing, that I'm not. So, whatever. Are you distressed if you lose subscribers? My subscriber count seems to do like this all the time. So I guess people subscribe and then think, oh God, he's a boring old fart. I'm, gonna unsubscribe. Or like I said, I will record a video and mention something that somebody finds upsetting or sensitive or whatever, and unsubscribes because of that. I'd like to think, I haven't upset anybody and they've unsubscribed, in a huff, but maybe I have. I don't know. No, it doesn't bother me. I think I would rather people were here because they want to be here and they watch my videos because they gain some enjoyment from them. I'm talking about things that people want to, listen to, I guess. Number 9, do you always respond when tagged? Not always. I don't know. I kind of keep a log of the various tag videos. There are booktubers who tag me fairly regularly. Will often respond. It might not be for, several days or a week. If I've not got a lot of time, then tag video is kind of one of the things that falls by the wayside, I'm afraid. So no, I don't always respond, but I respond most of the time. Do you respond to viewers' comments? Are your responses lengthy or only a thumbs up or down? I try and respond to, at the moment at least, because I've only got a handful of subscribers compared to some. I try and respond to all of the comments, and I try to write a response to all of the comments. Sometimes I get a slightly weird comments that I'm not sure, probably are bots, I guess. So I might just give them a heart. But most of the comments I will respond. I try to be as concise as I can, because I think if someone has taken the time to comment on my video, I don't want to take up too much of their time with a long response, unless it is something that they've asked a very sort of specific question about and it needs a lengthy response. So yeah, a few sentences or a paragraph or whatever. Have you ever blocked anyone from viewing or commenting on your posts? I don't think so. If I have, I don't remember doing it. I might be 1 or 2 people. I don't think I've ever blocked anybody. I've certainly not really had any. I've had odd comments, but no kind of, touch wood, really nasty comments. So yeah, I've not blocked anybody yet. But as I say, first time for everything. That's it. Then tag some booktube friends. I will tag a few people in the video description. So yeah, it was quite enjoyed that. And it looks like I can get away with minimal editing. So result. Thanks, John, for tagging me. I really enjoyed your video, and I've really enjoyed recording my own. So it's been bonus. And thank you to Robert G, Reader of Books, for creating the tag in the first place. And thank you to you guys, as always, for watching. And I will speak to you again next time. Take care. Bye-bye.